Hari Om. Dear girls, in our previous video we have discussed what is the purpose of ADO.NET, how ADO.NET is used as an application programming interface between a .NET application and a data source. Any kind of database server can be a data source, and how a .NET application is connected to a database server. Now, in this video, we are going to discuss how a data source can be used for the disconnected mode. How a .NET application will be working in a disconnected mode, for which we will be using the data set and the data adapter. In our previous video, we have discussed the data provider, and the four major core objects of the data provider, like SQL connection, SQL command, SQL data reader. So now we are going to talk about what is SQL data adapter and how it is used along with a data set to have a disconnected data mode in a .NET application. So the data set and the SQL data adapter, they go hand in hand, because data set will receive the data from the SQL data adapter, and the SQL data adapter is the one which will make the connection to the database. So a data set is an in-memory data store which can hold numerous tables. The data sets only hold the data and it will not interact directly with the data source. It is the SQL data adapter that manages the connections with the data source, and it gives the disconnected behavior. The SQL data adapter opens a connection only when required, and it closes it as soon as it has performed the SQL operations. That is the interesting part of having SQL data adapter in your .NET application. So this diagram shows, all these diagrams I have downloaded from the internet. So this diagram shows you can have a .NET application on this side as the front end tool and database on this side as a back end. Now when I am using the data reader, I need a command object that requires a live database connection. So using the connection, the SQL command or whatever data command you are going to have, that command will retrieve the data from the database and will be stored in the data reader, which will be taken by a .NET application. Whereas if you see the data adapter uses a connection object and retrieves the data, and it will populate the data in a data set which will be taken by a .NET application. So this is a diagram that specifies how a data set requires a data adapter to receive data from the database. So your SQL data adapter is the one that performs a following task when filling a data set with the data. So as the diagram shows, the data adapter is the one that fills the data in the data set. So what it will do, it will open a connection to the database and it retrieves the data from the data source, and this is the one which will be populating the data into the data set. Then it closes the connection. The same way, it performs the following actions when updating the data source with the data set changes. So once you make some changes in the data set, what the data adapter will do, it will again open the connection and it will write the changes, all the changes that are made in the data set will be written to the data source. Then it will close the connection. So nowhere the data set is directly communicating or interacting with the database. It is the SQL data adapter or the data adapter in general which will create the connection to the database and it performs the operations. So you can observe here, whenever it performs a data operation, the connection will be opened automatically and the connection will be closed automatically. So your data adapter is the one which is going to act as a bridge between the data source and the dataset tables. So you can see here, data set is here and the database is here. Data set is not directly communicating to the database. Instead, it is having a data adapter in between. So when you want to have the data in the data set, you will be using the fill method. So what it will do, the data adapter will use the select command. So it retrieves the data from the database using the select command, and whatever data is retrieved, that will be populated into the data set using the fill method. The same way, whatever changes are done in the data set, that will be written to the database using the update method. So the update method will specify whether you are going to have the insert command, update command or delete command. So this red task will be done by the update method and the blue task will be done by the fill method. Okay. So in general, your data set stores the data in memory with the ability to hold many tables. That is one interesting part. So one data set is somewhat similar to your database. It is not one single table. It can have multiple tables. So your data set acts as a database itself. And it merely holds data and it do not directly interact with the data source. Whereas the data adapter is the one that provides a data source connection, and it also provides the ability to perform disconnected operations, and it opens the connections only when necessary and closes them immediately after completing a task. For example, when populating a data set, it opens the connection, retrieves the data to put it into the data set and then closes the connection. This efficiency improves the scalability of an operation. So if your data source connection is in a disconnected mode, whenever you want to perform a task, whenever you want to perform a database operation, you need not establish the connection to the database. Instead, you can perform all the operations on the data source. So obviously, this kind of disconnected mode improves the scalability of an application. Now, the next question is how you can use a data set in a .NET application. How do you create a data set? How do you create a data adapter? How do you combine the data set and the data adapter? So if I want to create a data set object, you can use the new operator, specify the class name as data set, and you can create an object. So in this example, I am creating a data set object called DS customers. So when you are creating the data set, your data set is going to be an empty data set and you need an SQL data adapter to load it. Okay. Now, so since it is empty, what you have to do, you need a SQL adapter. This is the one which retrieves the data from the database, and this is the one which is going to fill the data set. Currently the data set is empty. So what do you do now? I have to create a SQL data adapter. So this is the one that holds the SQL commands and the connection object. So what are the two things that will be available in a SQL data adapter? You need a SQL command and you need a connection object also for reading and writing the data. So you create a SQL data adapter again using a new operator, and you pass two arguments here. What are the two arguments? One will be the SQL query, the SQL command, and the second argument will be the connection object. So here in the example, what we have done, we have created a SQL data adapter object and I called it as DA customers. You create a DA customers object and the SQL select statement will specify what data will be read from the database and it populated it into the data set. So what I am going to do, I select the records from the table called as customers. Then the connection object CONN must be instantiated before you create the SQL data adapter. Okay, and you can observe here you are not going to open the connection. Whenever we have performed the database operations using data adapter, before executing the query you open the connection. After executing the query you close the connection. But here you are not going to perform this open and close operations. That will be done by the SQL data adapter automatically. So it will open and close the connection whenever it is filling the data or whenever it is updating the database. So this is another diagrammatic representation. The client is a .NET application that uses a data set which will be having tables, and a .NET data provider will use a data adapter, and this data adapter will use a select command, and the select command will be executing the query on the DBMS. Now once it has been done, the SQL data adapter will be returning the data table. It will be returning the data table, and when it is returning the data table it uses the fill method, and in the fill method it will say to which data set it wants to fill the data and what is the table name. So let us see what is the code we are going to use for filling the data in the data set. Once the data set and the SQL data adapter instances are created, you have to fill the data set by using the fill method. You have to fill the data set by using the fill method. So what do you do here? I invoke the fill method of the data adapter and you pass two parameters. The first parameter will be the data set object to which you want to fill the data, and the second parameter will be the table name. These are the two parameters we are going to use. So your data set must be instantiated before trying to fill it with the data. Then the second parameter will be the name of the table that will be created in the data set. Remember, this table name will be inside the data set and it need not be the same table name that you have used in your database. So we can name the table anything we want. Its purpose is just to identify the table with a meaningful name later on. Typically, the same name as the database table. However, your SQL data adapter select command contains a join, so you can use another meaningful name also. Now, so see in this example what I have done, I have used customers as the table name. It need not be the same table name that you have used in your database. See, sometimes you may be using lots of join in the select command. In your select command like this, you may be using a join that retrieves data from more than one table. By the time you need not give the same table name here, you can have a new name. So this second parameter need not be the exact table name that is available in the database, you can have your own table name, because you may be using joins in the select command. So you can use any meaningful name as the second parameter. That is the interesting part of data set. Then the fill method is also having an overload which will accept one parameter only. The first parameter, only the first parameter. You can specify DA customers dot fill and the data set parameter, and you need not give this particular parameter. Second parameter need not be given. That is a overloaded method. So when if you have not given the second parameter, what it will do, the table created will be having a default name like table 1, and the number will be incremented like table 2, table 3, table n for each table added to the data set, where the table name was not specified in the fill method. So if you want, you can have your own table name here, or you can leave that parameter, second parameter, so that the default table names like table 1, table 2, table 3, as you have in your Microsoft Access, or by default whenever you are creating a table, the table name will be table 1, table 2, table 3 in the Microsoft Access database. The same way here, .NET, I have already told you, it is developed by the Microsoft technology. So obviously whatever convention they have used in their products, the same convention will be used in the .NET application also. Now, so these are the things what we discussed so far, is how do you populate the data set, how do you fill the data in a data set. Now the next question is, how do you update changes of data set in the database. Whenever you are going to do the modifications in the data set, this is not dat set, it is data set. So after modifications that are made to the data in the data set, we have to write the changes back to the database. So this is the code which you will be using for updating the database. Use your data adapter object dot update method, and the first parameter will be the data set and the second parameter will be the table name. As usual, the update method is also having two parameters. First one will be the data set name, and the second parameter will specify which table from the data set to update. And the table contains a list of records that have been modified, and the insert, update or delete properties of the SQL data adapter contain the SQL statements used to make the database modifications. We have seen in this diagrammatic representation, when you want to use the update method, the SQL data adapter must specify what kind of updation you are going to do. Whether you are going to insert some records, or whether you are going to update any record that is already available in the database, or you want to delete a record from the database table. So this has to be specified as a property in the SQL adapter. So the table will specify what are the list of records that are to be modified, whereas what modification is to be done, whether it is insertion, updation or deletion, that will be specified by the SQL data adapter, right? So this is how we will be using a data set and a data adapter for disconnected mode. We'll be discussing in the upcoming videos a live .NET application, how a data set and data adapters are used in the application for populating the data in a data grid. We will be discussing it in the next video. or in the upcoming videos. Thank you.